So on on SmackDown, Rey Mysterio got a legit injury. So it should have been Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
Yeah.
And on SmackDown, he got a legit injury and got fucking carried out the ring. So they announced it on the pre-show that he wasn't medically cleared. So Rey Fenix was going to step in. Rey Fenix, who only debuted in WWE 3 weeks ago.
Look good, though.
Well, it's Penta's brother.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, so they were tag team Lucha Brothers, and they do the solo stuff as well. But Rey Fenix he's more of the high flyer of the two.
Yeah.
And Penta's more even though he is a high flyer, but he's more the brawn.
They're all right, but it doesn't look like the punches land much. I mean, I'm sure it's different when you're in the ring, because I think it's just weight discrepancy.
That
difference.
That moonsault that El Grande Americano did, where he landed on his back. Your nose just went in that.
I have to smell coffee before I have to smell my coffee from McDonald's before I drink it, because McDonald's have got a nifty thing of giving you crap coffee every now and again. Oh. And I am the type of guy, dude, that would save the entire coffee,
take it back,
and on my way home take it back and just ask them if they're proud of themselves.
Oh. Yeah, so Happy Easter.
Happy Easter!
No, it's Easter Sunday.
We haven't opened with anything other than going, ugh. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we just walk into another podcast, welcome to Up the Trent, without a paddle. I keep cocking up that entrance.
Why?
I don't know. I keep calling it Up the Trent and then ... then a big pause and then going... without a paddle.
The dots are there. It's
I'm
got it ingrained in your head.
I'm still getting used to it.
Yeah, I just keep calling it Up the Trent, which doesn't finish the sentence, and people are like, "What's that mean?"
Yeah.
No, Up the Trent because you know, like when you're up Shit Creek, and that's kind of what the world's like now. But we're from Stoke. Just listen to the show.
I would, if anyone needs it explaining to them, I would just leave them, because we don't want them listening to it anyway. They haven't got the intelligence to listen to the show. But anyway, for people who are just tuning in, Cleon and David are very tired because we're in the middle of our WrestleMania weekend.
We certainly are.
And we're the big fans of the wrestling.
This is the first time in many years. Oh, this bloody microphone.
Where it keeps going hum.
Oh. There we go.
And this is the first time. This is the first time that Easter Sunday has fallen on 420.
Oh, bloody hell! Yeah, I didn't even see that. I didn't even think of that. What the?
Everything's just become clear. Leave it. I don't know. It's better. It's just fixed itself.
Yes, to. Oh, I know what's happened.
What's happened?
It's all right. It's still recording like left and right, but I've just pulled on the headphones, so the headphone jack for do that. See what I mean?
Oh yeah, can you stop messing with the headphones?
There you go. The headphone jack.
You have to do some editing, you know that.
It's gone into mono mode. No, fuck that. The listeners get everything. They get the backwards, the behind. I'm tired. Fuck me.
It's only the videos that are getting edited nicely. The podcast's just roaring out there. So let me help you out, Dave. Let me help you out. How did we kick off WrestleMania? Who kicked it off?
Jey Uso.
It was Jey Uso. A weird one to kick off.
Yeah. So, right, I'm back. I'm back in the room.
Are you back in?
It's the first time in a long time where I've enjoyed the build-up to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It's the first time in a long time where I've been enjoying WWE product on a weekly basis.
Yeah, you're back in it.
I'm back in it. Yeah. And I always said once Netflix got the rights that I would attempt to watch it again.
Yeah.
And I've watched it every week from January.
Yeah.
And it's been really, really good. SmackDown has been a little bit on the poor side. It's not been brilliant.
It's hit and miss, SmackDown is.
It's very hit and miss.
Cody Rhodes and John Cena are kind of driving that bus right now.
Yeah, but the WrestleMania build-up, like the main event players, they've been going across both brands anyway. So yeah, I think the writing on SmackDown hasn't been brilliant, and it's 3 hours, and there's no need for it to be 3 hours. Apparently, at some point this year, it's going back to a 2-hour show, SmackDown, which will be so much better because which will be so
I didn't even touch them.
which will be so much better because all they're doing with the extra hour is they're doing the same 2-hour show but just stretching it over 3 hours, and you're getting more like adverts and if a promo is meant to be 10 minutes, it's 20 minutes instead. It's like, just, we don't need that. Throw some fucking cool matches in, like, throw some non-matches.
It's because of the 30-minute segment that Cody Rhodes needs to speak every bloody week, which includes a 15-minute karaoke session.
If people always they go on about the Attitude Era and how it was like peak wrestling and whatnot, it really wasn't. It was peak storyline.
Yeah.
But if you go back and watch an episode of Raw from the late 90s, like, it's about 45 minutes of Rock and Stone Cold being ace, and then the rest of it's like filler. There's some really shitty matches on there, but we're in a position now where we've got better talent, so just throw some non-matches, just wrestling for the sake of wrestling. Just get two guys who are really good in the ring, who can tell a good story in a match, and just throw them out there and let them have a good match. Give them 10 minutes on the show where, it's not part of any build, it's not part of any story, it's just two guys having a good match, and you can go, oh, that was wicked, that was, and it just gives you a break from what's going on. But SmackDown's been very hit and miss. The one thing that saves SmackDown for me is the Tiffy Charlotte shoot promo, because up until that point, I was just like, I am not invested in this match whatsoever. I do not care about this match. The promos have been not very good. Charlotte's been burying Tiffany every week. They've been doing the big brawls where they just fight each other and loads of security, which is great. I love a fucking brawl, but there's just been nothing. There's nothing solid behind it. There's no reason for them to be in the ring together. It was a pointless match. And then that shoot promo where Tiffy goes off script and just starts fucking ripping into Charlotte's personal life. You're 0-3 in marriages. Like, what the fuck? And it just and it was completely off script as well. Charlotte loses it. She just completely loses her composure. This is a woman who, up until last night, once again, I had no interest in seeing her at WrestleMania again. And then, we'll get to the match, and then she wrestles at WrestleMania, and you go, oh yeah, okay, that's why she's there. But that for me, that's been like the driving force for me watching SmackDown again, because I want to see what happens now between them two and leading up to Mania. But yeah, I've been watching it every week. I haven't been watching NXT, but I've been watching Raw, been watching SmackDown, and it's been real fun, especially how they did the European tour as well in the build up, because the European crowds are just pure fire. Like, they're so good.
I noticed that last night at WrestleMania, because it wasn't even close to Manchester.
Yeah,
and our wrestling go, we've got 67,000 here.
Yeah,
and we're like, so.
It's just,
we had the Arsenal match yesterday.
I think it was Barcelona, was just like, it was insane. The crowd were amazing. But yeah, it's just been a really good build up, and I think every match on the card, it's got a reason to be there. There's a few things that I would have changed on the WrestleMania cards, but it's cool. It's fine. So,
I've got a question about WrestleMania last night.
Go on.
Was everyone just in a competition to see who could get the picture taken from jumping off the top rope?
Yeah.
Because it seemed to be that when Gunther did it against Jey Uso, I was kind of going, what are you doing, fat lad? You're 6'7", and 18 stone.
Yeah.
Get down from the top.
You're going to hurt yourself.
Get down.
Stop being silly.
And then when he jumped through the air, he looked like a flying pig, a German flying pig. He did. He was like, Gunther, fly.
Yeah.
And it just didn't look believable. And then everybody else then was doing the same thing.
It's the
over and over and over again. It was like, stay off the top bloody turnbuckle.
It's the WrestleMania moment. That's what they're going for. It's the WrestleMania moment.
But it's just obvious.
Yeah. It's it's getting that picture. It's it's
and you
getting that highlight.
But you could tell the difference between. It was a bit like WrestleMania last night, just being brutal, was a bit like all the kiddies had a great wrestling match. And then they had the main event, and it was like, now we're going to show you the professionals.
Yeah, the curtain jerkers came out first, and then the grown-ups came out.
But it wasn't just. It was so far on the side of average. Last night was. I just thought. I mean, to me, it was funny watching.
Yeah,
and I just found it a giggle. The Raiders. He nearly killed himself with one of his moves. Did you see how close his head was to the mat?
Yeah, the War Raiders. What were they called in Ring of Honor? Because they've been in WWE for a while. I think they were called War Machine in Ring of Honor, and then they moved over when Triple H was still in charge of NXT, and he was basically pushing it as a third brand, and he was getting all the indie guys in, and it was ace. And then Vince got his greasy mitts on it and went,
"You're fired,"
and just went like, turned it back into developmental and turned it into a really poor WWE product. I haven't watched it for a while. I should probably invest in it again, but that
saying
peak,
all this, it's probably the best one.
Yeah, that peak NXT period was just insane. It was amazing, and he got them over it. I think they had to change. They changed the name to the Viking Raiders because you couldn't use the word war on WWE TV. And then they got rid of Vince, and Triple H just changed everything back to how it should be. It was like, you're the War Raiders, but Vince said, I don't care. You're the War Raiders. The Viking Raiders are stupid. You're the War Raiders.
The Viking Raiders.
So yeah, let's go down the card, I suppose. So I watched the 3-hour pre-show.
Did you?
Yeah. I was. It started at 9. It was on YouTube, and
I did not.
And it was all right. What they used to do on the pre-show, they used to have a match on the pre-show. So it'd be something that was like that'd be like, this should really be at WrestleMania, but we haven't got time to put it on. It'd be a match like that. So I remember one year it was like, I swear it was like the Intercontinental title or something like that, and they had it on the pre-show instead. But that used to go out for free. Yeah. And then obviously the WrestleMania was a pay-per-view. So it was a selling point. Like, here's a little teaser. It's like going in a pub in Burslem and having an ale and going, can I just try that? And they give you a bit in the bottom of the glass.
Yeah.
And you have a little taste and you go, oh, that's really nice. I'll have a pint of that. It's the same thing. Oh, let's just watch this, Matt. That was really good. You know what? Fuck it, let's order the pay-per-view.
I do that with me shots.
Can I just try that one? How that green one?
And that one. And that one.
But now they're not pay-per-views anymore. They're premium live events, and they're on Netflix or Peacock or whatever country you're in, whatever streaming service it's on. You just need a subscription to that service. It's not a pay-per-view anymore. You know what I mean? So it's premium live event. So they're not really selling anything. You don't need a match on the pre-show. But the pre-show was really good. That combination of Pat McAfee and Michael Cole is just brilliant. And so they had Pat McAfee, Michael Cole, Big E, and Wade Barrett doing the first part of the pre-show. Brilliant. They had a big announcement. The WWE has purchased Lucha Libre AAA, which is brilliant. I mean,
I heard that last night as Nacho Libre Triple A.
So they had like the president and the CEO of AAA. I mean, AAA is where a lot of the Lucha Libre guys who've gone to WWE, they have come from AAA. I think the two.
Bear with. For people who don't understand, who don't follow wrestling,
Mexico.
That's wrestlers from Mexico who wear hats, who wear masks.
Yeah, not all of them, but bulk of them. And I think there's two. I'm not massively up on my Mexican wrestling. I think there's two major promotions. I think it's AAA and CMLL.
El Nacho.
but AAA is the big one, and their equivalent to WrestleMania is Triple Mania. which is I've watched it for a few years and it's really good. So this is going to be, if you ask me, this is going to be very, very good for people who like, it's like
you can listen to our rival podcast, Down the Trent.
Down the Trench.
Sorry, the name of the other WrestleMania.
WrestleMania,
Triple Mania's just killed me, sorry.
So, yeah, they're doing a Worlds Collide pay-per-view, premium live event, which is going to... it's like a throwback to the 1994 Worlds Collide that WCW put on. And that was the first time that, basically the first time that Lucha Libre was shown on American TV. But you had guys like Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Juventud Guerrera, who became popular in WCW and ECW, and then going into early 2000s WWE. All these guys were wrestling for AAA in the early 90s, and it was their first exposure to an American audience. And really, it's the reason why they got signed, and it's the reason that we've got Rey Mysterio now, still 20, 30 over 30 years later. And so they've bought AAA. I hope they don't fucking ruin it,
which they will. They'll ruin it to start off with.
I really hope as well that they give it its own show. You know what I mean? So it's by way of they bring it to the world, and it gets a slot on Netflix or
I don't think it'll
like
get a slot on Netflix. I think Peacock's where it's going to live.
Well, if it's on Peacock in the States, it'll be on Netflix over here. That's the way that works. Whether they do the whole... I mean, this just goes to show how much money that company's got, because they can literally put shows on YouTube now for free. They've got weekly shows.
Yeah, they're making a bomb out of it.
They've got weekly shows on YouTube.
Have you noticed since when they've gone big with YouTube WWE, it coincides with the hiring of Logan Paul?
It
does. They're very, very good at what they do, the WWE Universe are. If they bring in somebody like Logan Paul, I could bet you penny to a pound Logan Paul has more meetings about YouTube and stuff with WWE than anybody else in the company.
Yeah.
Just because that's where his experience lies.
100%.
Yeah. They're very, very good.
Triple H is not an idiot. You know what
I
mean?
He's not.
He knows
he's
not. Where things like...
And he sat under that learning tree for long enough.
And Nick Khan as well. The people think. I mean, people do think that Triple H is running the whole thing. It's Nick Khan. Nick Khan's running it. He's the guy in WWE, and then Triple H by his side. But they know the crack. They know what the deal is. It just goes to show how much money they're making from TV and streaming services as well. Because over here, the pay-per-view market in the UK is nothing compared to America. Yeah. So if we've got something on pay-per-view over here, so in the 90s, the wrestling pay-per-views were quote-unquote free. Yeah. They were behind a paywall, so you had to have a subscription to Sky Sports. Yeah. But if you had a Sky Sports subscription, you could watch these shows. And then the whole Channel 4 thing came in, where Channel 4 bought the big four pay-per-views. So they had Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series.
These were the dark years for WWE. It was when it all fizzled out a little bit.
I remember watching that Channel 4, the first one, Royal Rumble on Channel 4, and they hadn't taken into account time for ad breaks. So they were just putting ad breaks in while the thing was live, and you were missing parts.
Yeah.
So the next one, they had it on a 50-minute delay, so they could put ad breaks in and you wouldn't miss anything. Then eventually Sky got the thumb out their arse and bought them back. But because they had to pay more, they had to put them on pay-per-view. But they were only $9.99.
Yeah,
that's what they were. And then eventually $14.99. Maybe Mania was $19.99 eventually. Yeah. WrestleMania on pay-per-view in America at its cheapest was $59.99. There's some boxing pay-per-views in America that are $100.
Yeah, they are.
$100. And people still buy them. You imagine over here, Sky Sports or TNT Sports or something like, they put a pay-per-view on, and
It'd be a massive
and
sale
it's-
of fire sticks.
and it's £100. Like we'd just go, no.
We're not big enough. We couldn't police the pirate market that easily.
Just be like, not a
Because
chance.
John on my street sells a fire stick.
Yeah.
And just walk down his and knock on his front door if I get sick of it. At any point in my life, I can just go, fire stick. And he'll go, gives 50 quid, mate. There you go. He'll go fully loaded.
But even before that, even before the whole fire stick thing, you know what I mean? If somebody said it's going to be 100 quid to watch this boxing match, so I'm trying to think of one of the biggest boxing matches in UK. Let's go back. Let's go like Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield 2, something like that. Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
you know what I
any
mean?
Lennox Lewis.
Yeah, any of them, right? Which I would happily pay for on pay-per-view. But then Sky go, it's £100. I'm going, no.
No, we're not. We're going the pub.
Yeah, that's not happening. We're not doing that. So yeah, the pay-per-view market in America is so much different. But the fact that they don't have to charge $60 for a pay-per-view anymore, they can just put it on a streaming service. How much money are they bringing in? Jesus.
Well, you could tell
wept.
last night. Did you get buffering at the last match?
Nope.
I got no buffering.
No, I got nothing.
I got nothing all night. And then the moment my tribal chief walked down to the ring, and I will call him my tribal chief. I will.
I'm acknowledging him. I'm acknowledging him right
I
now.
will acknowledge my tribal chief. I don't care if he lost. He's still my tribal chief. Just because in my mind I looked like Roman Reigns when I had a top knot.
Yes. No. Yes.
No, the missus. I said that to the missus last night. I said, "Do you know what? Top knot. Oh, just like Roman Reigns." She went, "Yeah, she did." Yeah, she did. She didn't pat me on the head like she normally does when I come out with nonsense, but she did say yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
If that's what you
every
think,
time I close my eyes.
and stroke your beard. Yeah. So, no, in the last match, all I had, it was about 10 seconds worth of buffering, but it must have been half the world's jumping onto this now because
Yeah.
the match is starting.
No,
So,
I didn't get any. I didn't get any buffering at all. Yeah, it was. That's the one thing I was concerned about, you know, because it happened on the Jake Paul fight, didn't it? Jake Paul Tyson.
I don't know.
Yeah, when that was
Not watching a young lad beat up an old guy.
yeah, when that was streamed. Well, I didn't watch it live, but when that was streaming, Netflix crashed. Yeah, that was. I mean,
I think that was a manufactured crash.
yeah, I think so as well. But you know, that was it was
We
like
were so big we crashed Netflix.
we crashed Netflix.
Shut
How
up,
do you know,
you
Jake?
you
How do you
tube.
know you were in the ring?
You were in the ring, and it was a bit like. Anyway, let's get onto the card.
Yeah,
Because
so
I'm really onto the.
opener, opening. Right, this is just fucking ridiculous. If you ask me.
Why? First question out the bat I've got just on the first card. Yeah, on the first night of WrestleMania. Why have we got Gunther versus Jey Uso for the heavyweight championship on the first match?
Now,
Because you can't call main event Jey Uso main event
opening the card. Yeah,
opening the card.
I've always said, right, that if you're not going on last, go on first when it comes to a pay-per-view. You're opening the show, make the impact. Go out there, open the show, and set the premise for the rest of the show. Make everybody else shit themselves in the back because you've just put on a masterclass of a match, and then the rest of the cards got to follow that. All right, that's my thing. Like, you know, if you're going on for, you either go on first or you go on last.
Jericho liked going on first.
I don't know what the fuck Jericho's up to these days. Jesus wept. Have you seen him?
Has he gone full plastic surgery yet?
No, he's just like
Is he still fat and thinking
he's
he's
a
a
big
wrestler?
he's a big lad. He looks like an old lesbian.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that
Yeah.
PC? Can I say that? I don't know if I can
Did you
say that.
notice how well, we've got to get onto the trans stuff in a minute
You know what I mean,
later
though,
on
don't you?
anyway,
Like,
because that's
you know.
been kicking around
You
this
know what I
week.
mean? don't you?
I know
Yeah.
exactly what you mean. He
Don't
looks,
mean that in a
he
nasty
looks,
way.
he's a fat bloke with long hair.
Yeah, we all know one.
We all know one. Let's not get into this. Carry on.
Yeah,
I nearly went down a line.
a
then,
lesbian
we don't-
from the 70s. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Or one of them really old ones nowadays. I call them vampires. I've
Oh, well,
always called
okay.
them vampires because what they do, they get young ladies who are a little bit bi and a little bit curious, and they fully turn them.
Oh, okay.
Me and Brady used to call them head vampires. Genuinely, we used to go, "Oh, you need to be careful of it.
Careful of her.
Why, head vampire?
Head
We used
vampire,
to go,
that one.
Right, got you.
Got you. All right. Yeah, so it's WrestleMania. You've won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
You've got a title match at WrestleMania. You should be main eventing.
That's my only issue with it. The only issue I've got with it being first is he won the Royal Rumble.
He won the Rumble.
and that
Yeah.
and for me,
If it was the Chamber, maybe. But
as a traditionalist,
yeah, so it should have been the main event. And then, for me, personally, I don't know what you thought, but for me, I'm glad it wasn't.
yeah,
Because if that had have ended the show, I'd have just been like, oh, it was pointless. I shouldn't have stayed up for that.
yeah.
I could have watched that in the morning. Like,
It's had 10 good minutes in the whole fight, that did.
I understand the storytelling. Jey Uso's gone into this dark place where he's hard. He's hard and he's not scared, and you can hit him as hard as you want. He's just going to laugh and get back up. It was slow. It was boring.
You could hear the calls.
Yeah,
Every call.
it was just
Netflix, sort your mics
Yeah,
out
sort
on
the
your
mics
camera.
out. You know what I mean? I'm dreading the John Cena match tonight because John Cena's. You could turn.
And you still can't wrestle.
You could turn all the microphones off, and you'd still be able to hear John Cena calling moves. Like,
Dave, if we turn the volume down on the television tonight, we'll probably still be able to hear John
you
Cena
could-
calling
You can still hear it, like all the way from Vegas. It'd travel and into your ear, like pick me up.
John Cena's just ducks. Go on.
So yeah, it really didn't do anything for me. You got the big entrance. You got the yeeting.
Yeeting.
I was yeeting. I was up.
I was.
It's
I
just
wasn't
me,
up.
oos. I was up. I was yeeting.
I wasn't up. I was catching diabetes on the sofa.
I had so many crisps last night.
Going like, yeah. I was.
When I was falling, nodding off, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get another bag of crisps.
Yeah.
So I wanted so much more from this match. They've had better matches. They've had better matches.
They have. They've had
Yeah.
better matches on a Monday Monday night Raw. Yeah.
They've had better matches.
I thought Gunter was so off yesterday. It was unbelievable.
And I thought the end was lame. I thought
What do
the
you
end
mean?
it was submission. The
Yeah.
submission ending. I thought it was lame.
Well, that's what Gunter made his brother do, and
I
you
just-
could have wrote. I could have wrote that.
Do you know as well? I think he tapped too fast.
Yeah.
I think he tapped too quick. He put it. Was it a sleeper? Did he put him in a sleeper? Chokehold. Don't call it a sleeper anymore, do they?
Chokehold.
Put him in a chokehold, and I think Gunter tapped too fast.
He literally
He
was
coulda-
in the hole and
yeah.
went.
He could have struggled a bit more and then tapped, but no, and that was it. It was over, and then Jimmy comes down, and well done, Jay. You've won it. Did he win the Intercontinental? He did, didn't he? You've won
I
it.
thought his brother was going to turn.
I wanted that to
I
happen
wanted
so
that to happen.
much.
I was like, smack him in the face
Yeah.
with that belt.
Kick him in the nuts.
Go on, do
Kick
something.
him in the nuts. Turn on him.
Just turn right now, because right now no one's expecting it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they'll do that feud again because when they had the Jimmy versus Jay at WrestleMania, it was a bit of a stinker. It was a massive build-up and everybody was looking forward to it, but it was a bit of a stinker, the match. I don't think they'll do that one again. But I really...
Is Jey Uso part of the Rock stable?
He could be, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Rock now on the board of directors?
Yes.
Just hold that thought.
Yeah. It's cool. I know where this is going. It's fine. I thought the same thing too.
I was like, this is watching WrestleMania going.
We'll get to Jacob Fatu later. Yeah, so not the best opener. I was a bit like, oh, I hope this card gets better because that just wasn't brilliant. But yeah, Jey Uso, he's won the belt. Let's see what happens. It's just Emus, day one. Then we had what I'd like to call the Let's Go Make a Brew match. which was the New Day and the War Raiders.
And now this was my favourite match last night.
Yeah, well, it was my let's go make a brew, but then
was
it ended
comical.
But then it ended up being a good watch. I didn't go make a brew.
It was just good. So I'm going to run all out.
I love the New Day, by the way.
I love the New Day. I'm still not sure why they're going on about the third member.
I love bad guy New Day. Do you remember when the New Day first started and they were bad guys and they just weren't getting over?
Yeah.
Nobody liked them.
And then they
at
bought
all.
a trumpet.
And then they bring the trumpet in, and there was a whole thing with John Cena, and I can't remember the other team. There was another team involved, and they just organically turned into good guys. And apparently, like kayfabe, apparently backstage, they went to the writers and Vince and said, "Please give us a chance and just let us do our thing." And they went, "Okay." And within 2 weeks, the biggest fucking thing ever. They were so good. Like, the bootios, the trumpet. It was, they were so good. And I think, like, obviously with Biggie being injured and not being able to wrestle anymore, I think this whole heel turn thing's been fantastic for them. They are a great team and they're great wrestlers, and the more heat they get on them, the better. The worse they can get, the better. Like, they really need to be hated. They've got to do something horrible, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Now, and just be really hated as
Yeah.
champs. The tag team division at the moment is not very good. So we need the New Day to make it good again.
So we had the New Day versus the Fridge Raiders last
Fridge
night.
Raiders.
Yeah. The War Raiders, as they were. Now, New Day came down, and they sounded very much like, they looked very much like the Wu-Tang Clan album.
Yes.
The outfit
Yeah.
was very much a homage to the Wu-Tang Clan. I actually looked at all that. It was fantastic, great outfit. And then the War Raiders came out, looking like the Nan had made them something. It was like, Dave, they'd woke up yesterday morning,
Yeah.
looked at each other and gone, "You ordered those outfits, didn't you?"
So-
and he went, "No, didn't you?" And he went, "No." And then the Nan built them something.
So for context, Clash of Clans, the mobile game,
Yeah,
sponsored the match.
right.
So the War Raiders were made to look like characters from Clash of Clans.
Thank God for that.
However, they actually just ended up. They ended up
I
looking.
didn't get that context, by the way.
They ended up looking like the Easter Bonnet parade at school, at primary school.
Yeah.
But you haven't helped your kid.
Yeah. Or your Easter Bonnet parade, and you've asked the dad to do it on the morning
On the
of
morning
Easter
of.
Bonnet. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I got some cardboard somewhere.
I've got something.
Any foam? We got any foam?
Foam.
Felt? I don't know.
Felt, let's wrap this round.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It
It wasn't very good.
And then the match itself, the Vikings' tactic was picking each other up
Throwing, yeah.
and throwing a member of said tag team at the New Day.
Yeah.
And me, Ethan, and Jody just kept laughing at every point, because it was like I said, all he's doing, he's got to throw his mate at him again. And with that, he went, "Come here," and frisbeed him at him. It was the most surreal wrestling match I've seen in years.
I think what didn't help the match as well was it. When you're watching it on the TV and when you're watching it live, it's two completely different things. And I think
Yeah.
the crowd were up and they were on a high from Jey Uso winning, and they'd started to come down. And that must be a horrible position to be in when you're trying to do your tag match, because the crowd are like, "We're not going to get that high again." You know what I mean? It's when you're watching it on the TV and you can kind of analyze it, because you got all the different camera angles and you can actually see the ring.
Yeah.
Unlike the people who are up in the nosebleeds in that stadium, which it's like, okay. I think they struggled with the crowd and with that match. But watching it at home, it was a good tag team match. Two veteran tag teams who know how to wrestle like a tag team. It's not just like singles guys slung together. Putting on a great match, and the New Day being absolute shits of bad guys.
Yeah.
Like perfect. That's
Oh
what-
yeah.
that's what we needed.
I think that wrestling match may have gone over, or the Jey Uso match went over, just because how quickly the tag team match ended
Yeah.
and the next match was gone. They went, "Yeah, and the New Day are running out of here." I was like, "No, I think they're done on time."
Yeah.
Because the Vikings quite literally went,
Yeah.
They even started moving the wrestlers out. If you noticed, after the Jacob Fatu, they didn't start sending him back up the ramp.
Oh, straight out the other way.
They were like straight out the other way because it's
Yeah.
taking too long and we're getting too much time.
On that note, actually, we're going to fast forward to the very end. While the event was still on, did you get a little notification at the bottom of your TV that said this event has now ended?
No.
I got one. So it hadn't ended at all. Everything was still going on, and I got this notification at the bottom of the screen, Netflix, this event has now ended, and then it disappeared. And it's like, it hasn't.
Someone in the production room
Yeah.
just gone, oh
And
no,
I'm just like,
how do we get that off? Hover over it.
and I'm like, this best not cut out. Like,
The great thing is about editing is what I've just said's probably not far from the truth, really, is it? In the production booth, that's probably popped up on the bottom of his screen, and the producer's just gone,
pardon me.
how do we get this off the screen? I don't know. Hover over it. Yeah, if you highlighted it, yeah, press delete. Won't that turn everything off? I hope not. You just gone, that big finger and delete that you do when you're editing and you go, oh no!
But yeah, good match. Took us into the Jade Cargill Naomi.
That
match.
was the worst wrestling match in WrestleMania history and
No.
all wrestling matches. No, I don't care if she's new.
No, here's my thing, right? Here's my thing. Here's my hot take on this.
Go on then.
I've already gone into this before.
What, you were both drunk?
The build-up, right? I've gone into the build-up before. You've taken 3 strong female characters in Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi, right? And you've made them, especially Bianca Belair and Naomi, you've made them look weak as fuck.
Yeah.
High-pitched whining and crying in the ring. Like, just why? There's no need for that, right? Now, Naomi, she's not the best wrestler in the world. She never has been.
No
right?
shit.
But she's a good character. She's a good character, and
Okay.
when she came into her own and she was doing the whole feel the glow thing, the crowd loved her. She was a great character. Never been brilliant in the ring, but she's won world titles before, and she deserves them. She's a hard worker. She was over with the crowd. She's classed as a veteran now. She's been in there years. The character's great, but she's never been the best in the ring. And then you've got Jade Cargill, who had never wrestled before, right? And AEW sign her because look at her.
Yeah, why
She's
not?
a genetic freak. So AEW sign her, and they just push her. They completely and utterly push her to like this beast of a woman who can't be defeated. And she was undefeated in AEW until a very last, a penultimate match, which was at a pay-per-view, because that's the way you go out. She wasn't re-signing. She was going to WWE. So you lose your belt. It's just tradition. That's what you do. You put the other person over, and then rematch clause in the contract. So on AEW Dynamite, they have the rematch. She loses again. Bear in mind, she was a bad guy. She was a bad guy, and she should have lost and rolled out the ring and disappeared, but it was a final match with AEW, and she loses, she gets up, and Chris Statlander, who she was wrestling, they give the big hugs and the arms up, and gives her the credit, and the crowd pop for her. You go and do better things, go to WWE and learn how to be a wrestler.
Oh, enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Go and learn how to be a wrestler, right? Now, what should have happened with Jade Cargill is she should have gone to NXT.
Yep.
She should have wrestled in the Performance Center, not on TV, but she should have just stayed there, and they should have ploughed every hour they had into her to become the best version of herself. What they actually did is they rushed her to the main roster, and she wasn't ready. They had her on WrestleMania. She'd only been there a week. They had her on WrestleMania. She shouldn't have been there.
Those two people in the ring, and I'm not just saying it because they're women. They are not good enough to be on WrestleMania.
Why was that match on WrestleMania and somebody like Chelsea Green, who's the women's she the women's Intercontinental champion or the women's US champion? I can't remember. But she's a title holder. She's not on the WrestleMania card. Why was that match on, but a title holder's not on there? Why is Alexa Bliss not on there?
That's my number one question about the whole of WrestleMania.
Why is Alexa Bliss not on there? Why is Bailey been bumped off the card? Because she's been bumped off the card.
Something's going on in women's wrestling somewhere.
What's going on there? Why was that match on there? Now, if you'd have put Jade Cargill in the ring with, let's say, Charlotte Flair, it'd have been a 10 out of 10. Because Charlotte Flair knows how to get the best out of her opponent. She'd have guided her through that match. She'd have put her in. She'd have made her look phenomenal. Right? Naomi can't do that. She's not as good as Charlotte Flair. She can't do that. And you ended up with a bit of a stinker of a match.
Yeah, a bit of a stinker.
Bit of a stinker of a match.
They look like two drunk 78-year-old men waiting for each other to punch each other.
Yeah, it wasn't brilliant.
The moves were shocking.
The one thing that saved it for me was the powerbomb at the very end. Jade Cargill's powerbomb, where she lifts her up backwards, slings her up into the air, turns around, catches her, powerbomb, and then pins her.
Yeah.
That move was brilliant.
Did she catch her mid-air as well?
Yes.
Or was that...
Oh, yeah, caught her mid-air into the suplex.
Yeah, that freaked me out, that did. That was the one moment, actually, saying that, I'm ripping the match through the floor. That was the one moment of WrestleMania that made me go, wow, she's just caught her in a headlock. Because she did catch her at a weird angle, didn't she?
Yeah.
It was like someone had javelined this woman at it, this little wee girl at it, and she'd just gone, got it, like a sack of tatties, and then just slammed it onto the floor. Absolute brilliant move, but in every 3 to 5 seconds, you'd hear them go, right, you at me now.
Yeah. It wasn't called very well. It was, it shouldn't have been on the card. That should have been pre-show match.
Yeah,
that should have been on YouTube.
Agreed.
That should have been pre-show match. However, Jade Cargill goes over. She was always going to go over. They're going to be pushing her to be the next champ, probably.
I think she lives in the gym.
100%. Yes.
I think that's what it is with her. I think her work ethic in the gym is fantastic, but her in-ring ability.
And she could be better. She could be better.
I would prefer someone with a less good physique.
Yeah.
With a better in-ring ability.
Yeah. She could be
CM
better.
Punk.
She just needed to. She needed to stay in the performance center longer. Just get her more refined in the ring. But hey, it is what it is. It's wrestling, isn't it? Now, candidate for match of the night, as far as I'm concerned, LA Knight, Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
Both of them over with the crowd. Dueling chants.
Both of them over with the crowd. I think LA Knight. I've never laughed as much as when someone pulls up. When I say laugh out loud, you know when he wound the window down and just looked and winked at the camera. Yeah. I went like that. That's exactly what I would do. That is.
It was a brilliant match. It was always going to be a brilliant match. LA Knight, he organically got over with the crowd last year. I think they obviously they were pushing the Roman Reigns storyline. They couldn't have given him the belt, but that's what the crowd wanted. They wanted LA Knight at the top. He's got himself over, and he's really good in the ring. And Jacob Fatu is just like 6 months ago. He was in MLW. That was the one. He was in MLW. He was wrestling in front of 20 people, and then his contract ended, and they needed somebody else for this new bloodline. Get a family member in, and he's just like.
So he went over to WWE, walked up to the Rock, and went, "I know your people on the Polynesian island," and Rock went, "You're a champion.
Got you.
Next."
But once again, organically over with the crowd. He's come in and he's just this Samoan monster, who beats people up.
I've kind of heard the storyline before, though.
And the crowd have gone, we want that one. Can we have that one, please? Can that one do it? Can we have that one as the champion? Can we that one? No, not fucking Solo Sikoa. That one.
Yeah, he's good. He is good, the werewolf, isn't he?
And the crowd have just bought into him, and yeah, he gets the win. He's got a title. I swear he was in prison a couple of years ago. It's
He's got like 5,000 pictures of him doing a flip off the top rope as well from last night, because he did it more times than anyone I've ever met in my life.
Bloody LA Knight's blunt force trauma, the moonsault, and then he catches him into the blunt force trauma. Amazing.
Have you slowed that down?
I've not slowed it down. Wow. I don't need to. It's in my head. Don't want to ruin it for myself.
I was like, and I went, oh, and he goes like that, to grab it.
Yes.
And his hand goes like that.
Ah.
And you see him go, absolutely. I don't think it was the best match of the night, but I do think it was second to the best match.
For me, like, it's what, because them first three matches were a bit of they weren't brilliant,
Yeah.
The tag match could have been better, but I think the crowd were coming down from Jey, so for me, it perked me interest again. I was like, okay, right, here we go, getting into the big boys now. And then we had Rey Fenix and El Grande Americano.
That was a great match.
The greatest lucha libre of all time.
It was the most confused I've been before a wrestling match, because I didn't watch. Have either when I've been watching Raw and SmackDown? Have either when I've been watching Raw and SmackDown? The moment that guy Americano Grande's come on, I've gone make a wart. You know what I mean? I've gone. I'm not watching this crap.
Okay, so very very quick synopsis. Penta's debut on in WWE, he faces Chad Gable and he beats Chad Gable. So Chad Gable goes on this thing where he needs to learn how to beat lucha libras. He needs to learn how to be the best and how to wrestle like a lucha libre. So he goes on a mission to Mexico. Like, he disappears and he leaves. What are his team called? Is it American Made? I can't remember what they're called.
I think it's American Made.
And leaves them to deal with stuff. And then he comes back, and he's been hearing the story of the greatest lucha libre wrestler of all time, El Grande Americano. And El Grande Americano makes his debut, and everybody goes, "That's Chad Gable."
Even the commentators.
That's Chad Gable. And then
It's got the same tattoos as Chad Gable. Same size,
that's
same
Chad
tattoo.
Gable. And Wade Barrett's like, "No, it's not. It's El Grande Americano. What are you talking about?" So yeah, it's El Grande Americano. That's the story of El Grande. And he should have been facing Rey Mysterio. And it was this match, like, Rey Mysterio was like,
You're being disrespectful, Holmes.
You've been disrespectful to Lucha Libre Wrestling, and I'm going to teach you a lesson. And then Rey Mysterio gets himself injured on SmackDown. So Rey Fenix, who's only just been signed,
He's got to be 90.
he's been there. He still looks 12. He's been there 3 weeks.
We haven't seen his face in years.
That was the stupidest thing WCW ever did, demasking him.
Demasking him, yeah, I agree.
Man.
I agree, mate.
So you've got Rey Fenix, who steps in instead. Penta's brother, he's been there 3 weeks. And, he showed the world what he could fucking do. And Chad Gable, El Grande Americano. Is a phenomenal wrestler. The moonsault, where he flipped about 100 times. And landed
it was a 180.
Hit him with his back.
Yeah.
Like, oh my good God. Great match. He is... Because it wasn't Rey Mysterio, it is a bit of a filler. It is a bit of a okay. I guarantee a lot of people went and made a drink.
I tell you though, that was quite close
match
to the Jacob Fatu match.
Yeah, it was great. It was really good. And then it was Tiffy time. Oh. It's Tiffy time.
And then we got on to, again, drunken 80-year-old wrestling. Right.
So what I said earlier about what I said earlier about Charlotte Flair getting the best out of their opponent, Tiffany Stratton
is shite.
Isn't that good?
Really?
Charlotte Flair made her look like the greatest wrestler of all time. It was two women who came out dressed like Barbie, beating the piss out of each other.
I tell you now, I'm not sure I'm not sure how much Charlotte Flair got paid for last night, but I can guarantee it was more than Tiffy.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, I can guarantee you, because
She
they would have had to look at Charlotte Flair in a meeting at some point and go, "You're going to lose to Tiffy." And Charlotte Flair would have gone, "What the fuck?"
It was
And
just...
they would have gone, "We're going to pay you this much?" Okay.
Yeah, it was like, thank you for that. That, you know, it's not been the best WrestleMania card so far, and I really enjoyed watching them two just beat the shit out of each other. Yeah, Charlotte.
It was like she knocked her tooth out.
Charlotte carried her in that match, and
Just to
carried her
prove a
really
point.
well. It's like, it's the whole when she turned back up at the Rumble. Yeah, when she turned back up at the Rumble, and you go, "Oh, okay, Charlotte's winning," and I had zero interest in it at all. Like, and then she comes out and performs like that. You realise why they give her so many titles.
Yeah.
You realise why. You know, you had the whole Charlotte Flair Sasha Banks thing where they feuded for years, and then Sasha Banks leaves. And she does the Mercedes Moné thing, and she's the belt collector or whatever. But she's never been in a match as good as when she's been in with Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair makes people look brilliant.
She should really.
What?
She should really. Charlotte Flair really should be at a level, considering she's been in the business since birth.
She makes people look brilliant in the ring. It's as
Do you know
simple
what I
as
wish,
that.
though? I wish she'd emulate her father a little bit more.
I wish she didn't have to speak. She didn't, because honestly, she just like the promos. She just doesn't get over. She doesn't get over as a bad guy or a good guy.
She knows she's like a piece of cardboard.
Yeah, she just doesn't get over
Literally
it all. But put her in the ring, and she's phenomenal. But brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And yeah, I mean, the way she sold the dodgy leg, and she couldn't do the figure eight because of the leg, and she just, knocks Tiffy's teeth out.
She caught that on a knee brace. Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it happen.
Did you see it happen?
So no, and then I just saw the face, and I was like, oh.
You know when she jumped up and she went like that with her knees?
Yeah.
That's when it caught her tooth, because she had her hands like that.
Yeah.
And I think what it looked like to happen is she's knocked her own tooth out.
Yeah.
But when she lifted the thing up, that knee brace wasn't. The knee brace was up here.
Well, it came off at one point. It just wasn't on at all.
Yeah, it just wasn't affixed to her leg. So whenever she was doing that, it could be anywhere where a knee brace was.
Well, she's got fucking stone cold knees now, Charlotte. Like, she's going to have to wear that brace.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
She's had the exact operation I've had.
Yeah, Stone Cold. Kevin Nash, he's another one. You know, if he ever wrestled, he won't wrestle again. But when he was wrestling, he couldn't wrestle without his knee braces. Stone Cold couldn't wrestle without knee braces. That's Charlotte now. She's always going to be in that knee brace.
I could start wrestling now.
As fucked it. And it came off. It came loose. And it's like, oh man, she's going to be out again for 12 months.
It's the thing on the back that comes off there.
But yeah, I was that could have been an absolute stinker, and for me it wasn't. It was good.
I think with me, it's just the moment that first women's match was a stinker, I kind of tuned out. And I watched the Charlotte Flair match, but I watched it like that. Mm-hmm. Do you get where in any slowness? And the issue I've got with women's wrestling isn't women. The issue I've got with women's wrestling is it seems to be whoever trains the women. I don't know who trains it. Let's say Sarah, who's in charge of training the women, right? What Sarah is not doing is she's not saying to the women, you do know in between these moves you have to do it in under 30 minutes. Because it seems to be there's after one move, in men's wrestling, we'll slam someone down and then they'll get up, and they'll pick them up and they'll slam them again, and then it all seems like one dance. In women's wrestling, it seems to me they go punch, and then there's like a Last of the Summer Wine theme song, and then it's like, are you ready? And you see them, are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Punch. And to me, I can't get over it.
Yeah. There are a lot of
how bad women's wrestling is at the moment.
There's a lot of mistimed spots where it doesn't help that like the camera angles are wrong sometimes as well, because you could get away with that. Like there was a part of the Jade Cargill match where she's obviously waiting for Naomi to do the next move. She's there and she's in position.
She was ages as well.
Yeah, and she's waiting and she's like, this is getting awkward.
Did
now.
you see her eyes?
Do the move.
She was looking at her like this, going, "Hello, mate, are you joining any? Yeah."
And you've just got to like, if you cut the camera angle so you can't see that happening, then fair enough. But anyway, I digress. Tiffy's the champion still. She's had her teeth fixed.
Yeah, very well
And
done.
she's never going to have a match as good as that again, unless they roll it back.
Unless she fights Alexa Bliss.
Oh God, I hope Alexa Bliss turns up tonight, because if she doesn't,
She's turning up in Dominic's match.
well, I'm also thinking, because they've pulled Bailey, so they did this thing on the pre-show where Bailey's been attacked backstage, so now she can't be in the tag match with Liv Morgan and Liv Morgan's partner. So whoever, I can't remember who her tag team partner was, Bailey's partner, but she's now got to go and find another partner. So like it could be, she's Irish, so maybe Becky Lynch is coming back. Maybe she brings Becky Lynch.
The man.
Yeah, maybe it's that.
One of the worst names for a woman wrestler.
The man. And but Liv Morgan eliminated Alexa Bliss from the Rumble and from the Chamber. So it could be Alexa Bliss. She could bring Alexa Bliss in for the tag match. There's also there's a rumour that Alexa Bliss is going to be part of the Wyatt Six when they're all back together, which I think could be a little bit wasted. So, yeah, maybe she'll come back, because the pop that she got at Rumble.
Oh, that was massive.
Like, yeah, people love it, and they're just not doing anything with it.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
You don't know, though, because there could be 1,000 solicitors behind the scenes all negotiating appearance fee.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with her, but I hope she does make an appearance tonight. Main event. And I was a bit like, the main event of WrestleMania is always going to be the title match. And then this happened, and I went, oh, okay. That's why that was the main event. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins. It was a little bit... it was a bit leading up. The build-up was a bit like, there's no point in this match. Why is this match even a thing? There's no... It's not... It doesn't mean anything. This match doesn't mean anything. Like, I get the CM Punk Seth Rollins thing, and I get the Roman Reigns Seth Rollins thing, but why the three-way? It doesn't make any sense. You've got the CM Punk Roman Reigns connection from War Games, but that's no, it doesn't. None of it made sense until you bring the Wise Man in.
Yeah.
And then they started making it make sense.
Yeah.
And the match itself was brilliant storytelling. Throwbacks to other things that have happened in the past. Chair shots, Shield powerbomb.
Yeah.
It was just, yeah.
My favourite tag team move was brought in that match as well. I haven't seen the Doomsday in years. That is my ultimate, because they were my favourite tag team as a kid.
Yeah, Legion of Doom.
LOD, yeah.
Just such a good way to end night one of Mania. And the Paul Heyman heel turn.
I didn't see that one.
I did not see that
I saw
coming.
the heel turn to him and Roman Reigns.
But my God, it was perfect. It was perfect. And yeah, Seth Rollins is brilliant. He really is, and I think
His entrance was brilliant.
Yeah,
I did.
He's been
cheeky git.
Been a pivotal part of WWE programming for 10 years. When he turned his back on the Shield and he was a corporate guy, and then when he was a good guy again, and he's always been at the top.
Yeah.
There's been no dipping. There's been nothing like that. He's always been. Even when he hasn't been champion or anything like that, you can rely on Seth Rollins to be your main event guy. He's brilliant. Roman Reigns took him a long time to get the crowd on his side, and the whole bloodline, the tribal chief, it worked. And like what we discussed,
But it's all come
Yeah.
together at the same time,
Yeah.
weirdly enough.
and what we discussed last year, you know what I mean? Cody Rhodes completing the story, Roman Reigns disappearing for a bit and then coming back as an organic babyface. It worked.
Yeah.
The crowd like Roman Reigns, and the crowd are always going to like CM Punk. The CM Punk could walk into the ring, shit in his hand, and throw it at them, and the crowd would still chant his name. Like, they're always going to like CM Punk. Do you know the one thing? The video montage they did for Punk at the beginning was amazing. Throwing back to the mid 2000s, but one of the things I did realize is how old CM Punk looks now, which I think he's always looked good, and then when you throw it back to when he first came,
he does look mid-50s
when
now.
he first came into WWE and he was on the ECW brand, and you look at him and you go, wow, he's aged. Old man Punk. But yeah, he can still go. He can still go like the rest of them. And in my opinion, a very mediocre WrestleMania Night 1, which ended on a high.
Yeah.
Yes, there was great individual spots and there was great, individual kind of matches, but as a whole, I think it was very mediocre, but it ended well. And then there's tonight, which we won't talk about because we've been chatting wrestling for an hour,
That's okay.
and I'm sure people.
We've got... I'm not bothered. We've got... Tonight, we've got AJ Styles and Logan Paul. I'm really looking forward to that match because everything I've seen Logan Paul touch in a wrestling ring has turned to gold.
Right.
He's becoming a heavyweight high flyer, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's very good at jumping. He's very much Shawn Michaels. And that's not me saying that he's anything like Shawn Michaels, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Sin City fight, Damon Priest versus Drew McIntyre. I think that's when Alexa Bliss is going to turn up.
Why?
Wrong fight, sorry. Women's tag team, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Bailey.
Oh, Lyra Valkyria, that's it.
Yeah, and Lyra Valkyria.
It's not Bailey, though.
Yeah, Bailey's
Something
bounce. So that could be her. Fatal 4-way. Brecca versus Penta versus Finn Balor. So Finn Balor's back versus Dominic Mysterio. Sorry, that's the match I think Alexa Bliss is going to turn up in.
Could do, yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Screwing over Dirty Dom.
Screwing over Dirty Dom.
I-
They've got the T-shirts, if you've noticed, for WrestleMania.
Do you know, I would love to see any four of them win the belt. I'd love to see Bron Breakker retain the belt, Penta to get the belt, which would be ace. If anything, Finn Balor's probably bottom of the list for me in that one, and I love Finn Balor. But if Dirty Dom getting the belt, that'd be ace.
I just want to see Finn Balor wrestle properly again and stop messing around.
Oh, Dirty Dom is like one of the best heels. He's such an horrible bad guy. Like, I hate him.
I just can't deal with the hair.
I hate him. But that's part of the shtick.
No,
the Eddie Guerrero hair.
Do you know how brilliant he is at his job?
The mid-90s Eddie Guerrero hair, the fucking horrible moustache.
Do you know how brilliant he is at his job, Dominic Mysterio? He's got me hating him, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
That's how
'Cause he's
good of a job he's
fucking
doing.
horrible.
Yeah. And then you've got the triple threat for the Women's World Championship. I do think this is going to be good.
I think that's opening the show, you know.
Do you?
Yeah. I think that one's opening
Isla
the show.
versus Bianca Belair.
Io Sky, yeah.
And Rhea Ripley. Or the Goth.
I want Io Sky to retain. I want her to keep the belt.
I want Rhea to win that.
I don't think Rhea benefits at all from winning the belt. She doesn't need the belt. She's that fucking over. Everybody loves it. She doesn't need the belt. Bianca
I
Belair.
just think it's a bit unrealistic if that was a real fight. Rhea Ripley would just throw people.
Bianca Belair. Yeah, she's fine as a champion, I guess. But I just think Io Sky, if she keeps the belt and then develops the character, because she's been champion before, if she keeps the belt and develops the character, she could be a great women's champion, and she's a good wrestler. As far as women's wrestlers go, she's up there. I think the whole build-up has been people not even considering Io Sky. That's been part of the build-up. It's about Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. That's what it should have been. And Io Sky's in there for some reason.
Chucked her in a blimp.
And they're just like, they've completely been ignoring her. I think that could be the thing where she just comes in and beats them and goes, right, that's what you get for not considering me.
And then right at the end, we've got Cody Rhodes.
We've got The Rock versus...
We've got Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, where Ric Flair comes in at the end.
Where's The Rock? We haven't seen him.
Ric Flair's coming in at the end. I'm sorry, mate. John Cena's on 15 world titles.
Oh, he's not. Ric Flair's not coming. He's contracted with AEW.
I don't care.
Yeah, he's not
I
turning
don't care.
Yeah.
Do you really think that couldn't be a possibility?
Yeah, it's not a possibility. He's not turning up.
Someone's turning up then.
Yeah, somebody will, but it's not Flair.
It can't be The Undertaker because we did that gig last week.
Flair's already been on
Last year,
record of saying he's contracted with AEW. He's got some kind of Legends contract thing. He's contracted with AEW, and even if the WWE reached out to AEW and said, "Can we have Flair?" like Tony Khan would probably go, "Yeah." He'd probably say, "Yeah, of course you can," because he's a fan of the business and he understands. When they did the DX reunion on a Raw a couple of years ago, and they reached out to AEW and said, "Can we have Billy Gunn for the night?" And AEW said, "Yeah, of course you can." No, there was not even there was no issues whatsoever. They went, "Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can have Billy Gunn for the night. All we need you to do is on commentary say, Billy Gunn from AEW." That's all they wanted. They wanted to say, Billy Gunn, he's come from AEW to be here tonight. That's it. And the WWE went, "No, we're not doing that." So they didn't get Billy Gunn. How stupid's that? Like, people know AEW exists, but that was under Vince's reign. It would happen now. They'd do it straight away. It wouldn't matter. But yeah, Tony Khan would just go, "Yeah, of course you can have Ric Flair. Go for it." And they would have to say, Ric Flair, who's currently working with AEW.
During this match tomorrow morning, if Ric Flair pops out, I'll be prime Leonardo DiCaprio on my sofa. Like, he's there.
I don't know how this is going to go,
John Cena's going to win, and he's going to take the title, and he's going to retire it.
Who's the other guy? There's got to be another guy, because
I don't know who the other guy is.
He's been doing the Rock's been it's been very subtle with his fingers, with the 1 and a 2 and all that. I think there's another guy. There's somebody else in the Rock stable. The Rock, where's he been? He's not been anywhere since Chamber. We haven't seen him. Where is he? He's turning up. I don't even think the Rock.
If anyone's seen Dwayne The Rock Johnson, can you please write in?
I think the Rock's just going to turn up tonight.
Triple H, he's locked him in a cupboard.
Yeah, the Rock's going to turn up tonight and just go, "Right, this is what's happening." And then Triple H is going to go, "No, it's not." And the Rock's going to go, "I think you'll find I'm your boss."
And Triple H is going to go, "I think you'll find you're not."
And then Triple H will go, do you know the only reason that Cody Rhodes versus The Rock didn't happen? Because The Rock was like, "This is what's going to happen. It's going to be Cody Rhodes versus The Rock." And Triple H was like, "Yeah, we don't want that." And The Rock went, "Oh, well, I do, so that's what's going to happen." The only reason it didn't happen is because Cody Rhodes went, "I'm not doing it." Simple as that. Like, I may be under contract, I may work for you, but you can't physically make me go into that ring and do it. I won't do it. So The Rock went, "All right," and just back down. So
it was a very long that WrestleMania, which ended with The Undertaker and everybody else. That I've watched the making and the lead up to that, because that was when, if you listen to this podcast like a year and a half ago, you've got me going, "Dave, watch wrestling again.
Yeah.
Dave, it's getting mega.
and where the fuck is he? Where's he been? He needs to turn up, and he's going to do something, and it's going to be silly. Do you know what would be the best thing? The absolute best thing?
If he wasn't anywhere in it.
John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, and John Cena just wins. There's no interference. There's no politics. There's nobody comes out. There's no run-ins. There's nothing. Absolutely nothing. John Cena just legitimately straight beats Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, you are not good enough. You are not John Cena. You are not the face of this company. And here's the proof.
Have you watched WrestleMania before?
I have just beat you clean. I have just beat you clean in the middle of the WrestleMania ring. And now I'm the champion because you are not good enough. That would be perfect.
And I retire.
Yeah. And see you later.
Yeah.
I don't
Did that dead camp, by the way.
I don't think he's not going to retire. He retires at the end of the year. So Cena takes the belt, fucks off for a bit, comes back for SummerSlam. SummerSlam's 2 nights. Comes back for SummerSlam. You get like CM Punk versus Cena at SummerSlam. They run that back. Cena still wins, and then end of the year. Or do you get? Is that where you get the rematch? The Cody
End
rematch?
of the year, you get the Rock Cena.
Ooh.
There you go. Cena's last match.
What pay-per-view? Because you don't do that at Survivor Series.
Cena's last match.
No fucker watches Survivor Series
What matches
anymore.
are around at December?
Well, Survivor Series is your last pay-per-view. I suppose you've got your day one, which is like your Raw after New Year.
What about the Rumble in Paris? Because that's a new one.
He's retiring this year, isn't he? So that's a SummerSlam match, surely. SummerSlam's like the closest thing to Mania.
It's got to be The Rock versus Cena then. It'll end with The Rock versus Cena in The Rock. What?
You know what we're going to get at
Got it.
Do you know what we're going to get at Backlash? We're going to get Randy Orton. Randy Orton Cena at Backlash. We're going to get Randy Orton Cena at Backlash the very first time that Orton is a good guy and Cena's a bad guy. Orton won't win, but that's what we'll get because you can rely on that match. It'll be brilliant. The amount of time, just Google the amount of times Randy Orton and John Cena have headlined a pay-per-view. It's ridiculous.
A lot, I know.
But yeah, we'll get that at Backlash. Yeah, we're going to get Punk Cena at some point. That's going to happen.
Roman Reigns Cena.
I don't think there's any market for that. I don't think there's a need for that at all.
All I'm trying to do is I'm trying charter when the belt goes to Cena tonight, which I think it does.
Yeah, he does. He gets that.
It goes to Cena tonight.
Imagine if he doesn't. If Cody Rhodes just wins and Cena disappears.
We'll be sitting there going,
The fuck?
well, this is bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or he wins, or Cena wins, and then The Rock interferes. And goes, no.
I don't know. Do you know what else I don't know? Whether I can actually stay up and watch it either. Because I struggled last night.
I can. You need to go bed early.
But I don't want to.
But you're being silly.
The Formula One's on and I want to watch the build.
You're being silly.
There's so much stuff to watch.
Dude, they're being silly. About 8 o'clock, what you want to do, right? I've sorted it, Dave. You want a couple of beers between 4 and 8. Yeah? I'm listening here.
The race starts at 6.
Oh, shut up. You can't do everything, Dave.
I can.
You can't.
You watch me.
You can't.
You know how much Monster I can drink in a day?
You do.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Palpitations.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Yeah, I just need another packet of crisps. What you need is a couple of beers.
Half 1 in the morning, I was making toast.
Where you fucking
I need some fucking toast. I need something.
So, 4:30 at night, about 4:30, between 4:30 and 7, a couple of beers.
Okay, cool. I've got some beers in the fridge.
Couple of beers,
Yeah.
big meal.
Big meal.
Big meal, couple of beers.
Well, we have Sunday dinner for tea, so
there you go then.
We'll be having that about 6ish.
Sunday dinner, after Sunday dinner, sun's still out, sit in garden, sink a couple of beers, or sit in the bath and sink a couple of beers, whichever you prefer.
Beer baths.
Beer bath, love a beer bath. And then, go sit on your sofa. Put the volume on low, get nice and comfy, and just drift off. Just drift off. Just drift yourself off down the river. Just little down the lazy river of the sofa on a Sunday afternoon. And then, set your alarm for 11. So I slept last night between 9 and 11, 9 and 12.
I know, but that's when the build-up's on.
So I got 3 hours. You can't do everything. So I got 3 hours worth of kip. Yeah. And then I woke up and I was like, up for WrestleMania. I was wide awake. Cleo was buzzing.
Stop moving away from
Loved
the
it.
microphone, you tit.
Loved it.
I'm going to get you a microphone that clips.
And then,
just clips next to
good,
your mouth.
because I am Pat. Good. I want one. I want one, and I'll wear my suit more often as well whilst I'm in here, if that's the case.
We're just going to use them little road marks from now on. Like,
We're going to
clip them onto
clip them on.
ourselves.
We're going to clip a road mic onto Cleon's beard because he's annoying. But no, yeah. So you need to have a little bit of a kip. Go down lazy river, a little bit of a lazy, a little bit of a kippy, Dave, and then you'll be wide awake for it. You don't need to watch Formula One.
I do.
It was crap last time, Dave. Let's be honest.
It wasn't the best race.
It wasn't the best race.
wasn't the best race
And if
at
you
all.
watch it and it's a bad race, you're just going to be disappointed, Dave.
I watched the qualifying yesterday, and once again, Max Verstappen's proven like that he is probably the best driver on that at the moment. At this moment in time, Max Verstappen's probably the best driver out there on the grid because he hasn't got the fastest car anymore, and he's still pulling out fucking pole position laps.
Yeah.
It's just like, my God, that guy's good. Like Lando Norris.
We're not even sure if Lewis Hamilton's racing anymore.
Lando Norris, right? This is his chance. This is Lando Norris's chance to prove how good he is. Lando Norris's chance to bring the drivers' championship back to Britain. Right? He's in the best car. He's in the McLaren. He's been with them for years. Now's his time. Last week, he was toss. This week in qualifying, he drives his car into the fucking wall.
Yeah.
Like Oscar Piastri, who's in the McLaren, he's just like, yeah, it's me. I'll get the points, guys. Don't worry. I'll get them. It's fine. It's fine. I'll get them. Don't worry. Oscar Piastri, I shit you not, man. This is the season where Lando Norris has got the best chance of winning a world championship, and Oscar Piastri's going to do it in the McLaren instead. It's like, come on, Lando. Sort yourself out.
Lewis
son.
Hamilton's channeling his prime Jensen Button.
He's put too much fucking pressure on himself.
Who?
Lando Norris.
I thought about Lewis Hamilton then.
Oh, Lewis Hamilton's he's driving for shits and giggles.
He's
now,
just
man.
driving around. He's got a cup of tea in his right hand.
He's got nothing to prove. He's like,
I'm pretty.
wee! I'm in a Ferrari.
I'm pretty sure. Right. He's got one hand on the wheel. If you look at Jensen Button.
You see?
If you look at Lewis Hamilton later, he'll have one hand on wheel. Right. He'll have one hand leaning on the side.
Lean on the side, yeah.
And he'll just.
Shifting with
What-
one hand.
What position am I in? 14th. Oh, hang on a minute. Right, we're at 7th now. aren't we?
I'll do.
There we go, Jan.
Some points for the
Let's
team.
just sit round 7th and 5th. Be a race.
be right.
I watched him and it was like, are you going to try overtake anyone? And even the car in front was slowing down.
Do you know?
And he was just like, and you could see him going.
He even turned up last week without his braids in. He just
God's
had
sake.
his hair out.
Just-
looked like a fucking poodle. He looked like Ludacris in the early 2000s.
Oh my God. Was he even walking like this?
He had his hat on, so it was all sticking out the back.
Oh, Luis.
He just stopped caring.
Ever since Nicole's left him, he's gone downhill.
It was just like
Get shirt slinger on the thing
he's
again.
in this position, and he's in this peak this part of his career where he's like,
counting money.
I've signed with Ferrari. I've always wanted to be a Ferrari driver. Everybody wants to be a Ferrari driver, and that's it now. I'm done. It's fine. It's absolutely fine.
Evening. That's him just driving. Watch him on about his
We'll see what
nine,
happens. The new regs next season. We'll
on
see
his
what happens then,
15th
but-
lap or whatever many ever bloody laps there is in this bloody match of a Grand Prix. I love calling it the Grand Prix.
I've won the Grand Prix.
I've run the Grand Prix everywhere. I'm gone and get me suit measured. Just driving, going. I love it. Love it. Love this racing stuff, me. It's like, you do have to win, Lewis. When was the last time he won?
Silverstone last year.
And the time before that, Silverstone the year before.
I can't remember. Yeah, he won. Yeah, he won silver. His last British Grand Prix with Mercedes, and he wins. It's like fairy tale ending. You couldn't have written that. It's brilliant.
An Englishman winning a
the
British Grand Prix in a German car.
in his last race for Mercedes in a German car that are based in the UK.
Yeah.
Like the Mercedes team is based in the UK.
Yeah. All right then, Ted.
Have we?
Are we touching on
to talk
football?
about? Oh, we can. I mean, I don't think you want to.
I don't really want to, but it's something that I've got to do.
Jesus, 4-1.
I know.
It's all right, Vale lost as well.
It's
So.
all right. We didn't lose. We got completely annihilated. But let's get into football.
It's a weird weekend, isn't it, for football? Because, like, all of your championship and lower leagues played on Friday. And
Yeah.
then they're playing Monday, I believe.
Yes, this is true. So on Bank Holiday Friday, or Good Friday.
Good Friday.
Not what Jesus called it.
It wasn't a good day for Jesus. at all.
No. I think it was more of a Roman name. We had our local teams. They were out in force. We had Stoke 2, Sheffield United 0. Hey.
Yeah, Stoke have finally pulled the fingers out their arse.
Now Stoke are out of relegation. They've gone, shall we play a bit of football?
Vale.
Vale.
Top of the table, Vale, and bottom of the table, Carlisle. Carlisle go 3-0 up.
Yeah, but they were Vale were away to Carlisle.
And then Vale decide to go, oh, fuck, we should probably try to score some goals.
Do you know what the problem is with Carlisle?
Go on.
Where he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to know somebody from Carlisle.
Have you ever drove to Carlisle?
Never driven to Carlisle, no.
It's like nowhere.
Yeah, you've got to kind of go, yeah, it's weird.
Have you seen Game of Thrones? Have you seen Game of Thrones? Yeah. You know the wall?
Yeah.
That's Carlisle.
Yeah.
That's Carlisle. That's where Carlisle is. That's where they filmed Game of Thrones, in Carlisle, for the wall. So yeah.
The good thing is like Vale did lose, but the rest of the teams in and around the top of the league like didn't really do anything to help themselves either. So
everyone
like
lost yesterday.
So yeah.
Still leaves Vale top of the league on 76 points, 43 played. Doncaster 43 played, 75. Bradford.
Where's the three games left?
Yeah. Bradford 43 and 74 points. And Walsall 43 and 73. So Vale could still not get automatically promoted.
Yeah.
It's only a win for Bradford, loss for Vale, and it completely throws them back down in the league. Anyway,
Who have we got though? Let's have a look at. So we've got Grimsby. They're middle of the table, aren't they?
yeah.
Wimbledon, who are in the playoffs, and then Gillingham, who are middle-ish bottom. But Grimsby and I know Grimsby they could get into the playoffs, couldn't they?
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got Grimsby. Oh God, you could do without that, really, couldn't you? Grimsby, Wimbledon, Gillingham, last game of the season. Gillingham are just like, they're not getting relegated, they're not getting promoted.
Yeah, they're dangerous, those teams.
Yeah,
are.
dangerous. They're just playing for fun now.
Yeah. It's normally when you turn up like prime 1970s circa Brazil. You're like, so these guys have finished fifth from bottom. They can't get relegated and they've just played like Barcelona. You are joking me, aren't you? So we had the Premier League yesterday. We had Brentford versus Brighton. Brentford won 4-2 against Brighton. That was a shock of the day. Crystal Palace Bournemouth, that was 0-0. That was a bigger shock of the day, considering Crystal Palace's 5-0 arse kicking in the week from Newcastle. Everton lost at home to Man City 2-0. West Ham 1-1 with Southampton. And then the night match, which I was really excited for, and this is true. So my mum's had a back operation recently, get well soon mum, and she's in hospital, okay? So visit team's time's finishing at 4:30. She's in Walton at Liverpool, takes an hour to get back. So I've booted it back to get back to Newcastle. Got back in, Newcastle 1-0 down. I've got my lucky shirt on, Dave.
Oh, you haven't got your lucky
So
shirt
I've gone,
on?
oh shit. I've ran upstairs, got lucky shirt on.
Yeah.
Knocked tally on. Moment I've knocked tally on, Newcastle have equalised. I've gone, oh,
Thank God. Lucky shirt.
thank God, lucky shirt. It's a good job I'm here in Newcastle. Don't worry. Cleon's got his, oh, okay. Okay, that's 2-1. Cleo, okay, that's 3. Okay, that's 4. And then what happened was, I think what's been waiting to happen since we won the cup. We got his arse kicked.
Yeah.
We've been on this massive high. Newcastle have been on this massive high. The last time we played Aston Villa at St James's Park, I think we won 3-0. There was fights in the tunnel. There was all types of chaos going on when we fought them. We haven't got Eddie Howe as a manager, just because he's recovering from in hospital from pneumonia. Get well soon, Eddie. Love you. And that's just the result.
Still third in the table, though.
Still third in the table. Today we've got who's playing today? Fulham versus Chelsea, so we could do with being a Fulham fan. And then we also have on Monday Tottenham versus Nottingham Forest. So Cleon will become a prime Tottenham fan tomorrow.
Okay.
As we're just
Tottenham.
as we're just above Tottenham in the table. So the Premier League table currently is Liverpool sitting top on 76 points, or on 32 games played. 32 games played. Arsenal 63 points. Then there's Newcastle with 33 games played on 59. Man City 33 on 58, and then Nottingham Forest 32 games on 57. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so I don't mind if Chelsea win today, but I really need Tottenham to win because it's the top 5 this year that get Champions League.
I was just about to ask you that because I was looking at the table. And
What a surprise! Some of the top 6 are having trouble this season. And Newcastle aren't. Now it's the top 5 that get promoted.
So top 5 go Champions League.
Yeah.
6 goes. It's not what is that?
Europa League?
It's not Europa, is it? I thought 6.
UEFA?
Is it? Yeah. I can't remember which one it is. Isn't Europa the conference of European?
So position 1 to 5 UEFA Champions League, and then position 6 is UEFA Europa League.
Yeah.
And then whoever won the cup, so the FA Cup's Champions League, I think. And then your League Cup is not the UEFA, is the other one.
The other one.
The Europa League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
I don't know.
No, not the UEFA Europa League, the other one.
I'll Google it later.
So Newcastle are already in Europe.
Yeah.
But it's not the Europa League, it's what the other league is for winning that cup.
I know which one you mean.
If we finish in the top 5, obviously Champions League.
Yeah.
But they stunk the place out yesterday. Like, badly stunk the place out. But you could see people like Kieran Trippier's 33. He's been in every starting lineup. You could just see his legs were knackered. You know, just fatigue.
Yeah.
Been on too many sessions after winning games. The sash, like they've been. You just imagine being a Newcastle player. You've won a cup. You've buggered off Dubai on a party. You've come back. You've won a game. Bloody hell, that's all right. You've done a party. You've come back. You've won another game. Oh, yeah, fine. Then you've won a game 5-0, and then you've walked into the Aston Villa match. Joe Linton, I've not seen you have a game like you had yesterday. If you can't pass the ball correctly because your legs are tired, do yourself a favour, go to the manager and go, probably best you play Joe Willock today, mate. Because he made so many errors on the ball yesterday. It was just a case of me sitting watching at 1-1 going, I was trying to telepathically communicate with Jason Tyndall, the Newcastle assistant manager, and I was sitting there at my desk like Professor Xavier does, you know, with his hat on and he puts out his rays. And I was sitting there going like this, Dave, sub Joe Linton, sub Joe Linton. He never fucking did it. Sandro Toloni must have been he must be like this morning, walking around like a robot.
Obviously, your helmet's not working then, Cleon.
I know. It's gone straight in bin, helmet has.
Straight in bin. Anything else this week?
No.
I mean,
it's been a slow week because bank holidays cocked it all up for everyone.
There is one big kind of ish story that I don't really care about.
What's that?
The Supreme Court have ruled that a woman is somebody that was born a woman. I mean...
Oh, no, they just said transgenders don't actually have any rights because you're not really...
Yeah.
You're not really a species, which is about right.
Which is
They never had rights in the first place.
Well...
And now they're kicking off because they haven't got no rights.
All the Supreme Court have said is that a woman is somebody that was biologically born a woman. That's just... That, like, it's always been that. There's never been any different than that. That's just how it's always been. And then everybody's gone, but I'm not going to be able to use the right bathroom. I mean, you are. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Now, the placards or the signs outside the court yesterday were stunning. Would you like to hear some of my favourites?
How long is it going to take?
Not long.
Okay, go on then.
Trans women are women. Trans men are men. But if you don't like that, go shit somewhere else.
That's brilliant. If you don't like it, go shit somewhere else.
Fuck the system. Spelt CISTEM.
Yeah, okay.
Are you a transphobe? Why not stab yourself in the eye?
I like that one. Straight to the point.
It's not radical to remove rights.
Yeah. I think
I think it is.
I think it's been blown a little bit out of proportion.
Transphobes are the dangerous minority. You rule for discrimination, violence, murder, sexual assault, harassment of an innocent minority.
Right. Here's the thing. Right. Here's
Eat the gender binary.
Here's where I'm coming with this. Here's where I'm coming from with this, right?
You're finding it dead hard to be woke on this. Really.
No, I'm not. I'm not, like, because I'm not an horrible person, right? So if somebody's trans and they're presenting as female and they want to be referred to as female, then that's what I'll do, because it's fine. I don't care. That's your right. You can do that. And if
You want me to call you a frog? I'll call you a frog.
yeah, I honestly don't care. And honestly, like, if a trans person who's presenting as male or female want to go and use the male or female toilets, I'm 99% certain that
No, I've got a problem with that.
nobody cares.
No, I do, because as a male, I have a.
I really don't want to get deep into.
No,
this,
I'm not getting deep into
Right.
it. Dead simply, I'm a male who has a female daughter. When my daughter goes to the toilet, I stand outside and I wait for my daughter to go to the toilet. I'm not having a bloke who's sexually confused, and I'll be brutal about this because that's all it is, who's sexually confused, nipping in the toilets and sending my daughter out with a bunch of questions that she never really had. Because she's just seen a bloke lift his skirt up and go, all right, as he's going the toilet.
Well, you'd be in a cubicle,
You know what I mean.
so it wouldn't really make that much of a difference.
So why does it matter? Go in a cubicle in a bloke's toilet. You just try and find a way to be special. The best placard I read from yesterday.
I'm pretty certain that there'd be more issues if a bloke in a dress went into the bloke's toilet than if a bloke in a dress went into the women's toilet.
Really?
I think there'd be more issues.
I don't think they would nowadays.
Works
in Scotland.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, if you go, if a
Just sent your head completely.
if a bloke
Yeah.
in a dress.
Yeah.
Now, you know the type of bloke I'm on about. The bloke who says he's trans, that still looks like a bloke.
Yeah.
The bloke who says he's trans, that's dressing like your nan, that
Looks
still
like
looks
Buffalo Bill.
Still looks like a bloke. Goes into the men's toilets and then uses the urinal. Will probably get more grief than if he or she, however whatever the pronouns they're using, goes into a women's toilet and just goes into a cubicle.
I completely agree. Do you know what I think they
It's
should?
just
Do you know what I think they should
like-
do? Do you know what I think they should do?
Gender neutral bathrooms.
Yeah, yeah. I think we should put up every transgender's tax by 25% for each one of them, and then we'll build them gender neutral toilets for them in their special place. Because I ain't paying for that. Why do I have to pay for gender neutral toilets here, there, and everywhere?
Do you remember back in God? How many years ago?
I'm not being nasty. I'm not being nasty. Well, I am being puggy nasty. But where's the end game here? We've got animals. We've got kids walking around on all fours.
That's just silly.
That's just if my daughter won't stop being a cat. I bet you she will if you spray her with water every time she gets on the table. I bet you she will if you put in a cat bowl actual cat food and say eat that. And I bet you she will if you make her shit outside a couple of times.
Yeah.
I bet she'll go, do you know what, Dad? What? It's not really good being a cat. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. My favourite placard from yesterday.
Oh, go on.
My favourite placard from yesterday is, you're just jealous that my dick's bigger than your boyfriend's and my tits are bigger than yours.
No. I'm not.
So,
I'm not. I've said it a million times. It's the extremes, and that's just like, do you know? There's
That's the ones outside the High Court
Yeah.
yesterday.
and it's the extremes. There are so many trans people that just want to fucking live and go about the day, but they get lumped into that category of the extremes. That the people that stand outside the court with the placards, you'll have.
Why does Eddie Izzard have to go full on Martha? Why can't he just say is executive transvestite? I preferred him as executive transvestite.
He's happy, isn't he? He's wearing breasts and makeup and a skirt. He's happy. It's fine. There's no problems, is there?
There's no problems.
There isn't a problem.
No,
It's
there's
like-
no problems whatsoever because Eddie Izzard doesn't expect to have his own gender-neutral toilets,
Yeah.
his own area, and his own this, that, and the other. He's just a guy. He's just a geezer. And plus, it's Eddie Izzard, so even if you see Eddie Izzard, I'd feel comfortable saying to Eddie Izzard, "Where's his executive transvestite gone?"
I feel that people are causing problems when there aren't any problems.
No, I feel
The-
that people have jumped on the bandwagon way too much on this trans issue. I think there's too many. I've said this on a previous
really
podcast.
want to wrap this up quick. I didn't want to get deep into
Sorry.
this at all.
I've said this on a previous podcast. Where are all my happy gay people at?
Yeah.
Because we can take over this trans issue.
It's I don't know. I'm not living in it, so
Couple of pink cannons.
I'm not living in it. I don't. It doesn't affect me personally, but I also think it doesn't affect a lot of people. I genuinely believe that a lot of people just couldn't care less. Like
I don't care unless it's brought to my door.
I don't care at all. It's like if I just don't care. Seriously. It's like I genuinely don't think that anything's going to happen if a trans person decides to use the toilet of their preference. They just go and you're using the fucking toilet. You're just using the toilet. You go in there, use the toilet, you leave.
I don't think anything would happen if they just walked in a normal toilet and used a cubicle.
Anything, yeah. Just
Just
it
a
doesn't
bloke's
matter.
cubicle.
Seriously, I've been drunk enough times and been into maybe the wrong toilet or in my own toilet where women have come in because the queue for the fucking men, the queue for the ladies is massive, and they've just come into the gents, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. You're in there, you're having your piss, you're washing your hands, you're getting your little bit of fucking spray from the lucky man in the corner, and nobody gives a shit. Like, it just... You go and use the toilet, you leave. What's the fascination with fucking toilets? Why are people fascinated? Surely you're going in there to just use the toilet and fucking leave.
Because if you think about it, it's a symbolism on the doors.
Who fucking cares?
You've got men. So we're programmed for symbolism as humans. You've got men's toilets and women's toilets. What some people want is their own toilets as well.
Well, they can fuck off.
That's the only issue I've got with it. I've got no problem, right?
It's called the disabled toilet.
No,
Everybody
I know,
fucking just
I know.
goes uses that one instead.
I've got
it's called
no-
the baby changing room.
I've got no problem to go onto our warships of our great army and go, listen, guys, we need a gender-neutral toilet. And I've got no problem going into the Air Force and saying we've got to have a gender-neutral pilot seat, and I've got no it's called a cockpit for one. Well, I've got no problem fitting out gender neutral in all the offices in London. Right? I've got no problem with that. I've got no problem doing their own swimming pools in councils. They can have do you know what we can have as well? We can have a swimming pool where we can have all the people. We can have an area where all the dickheads of this world can go and be transgender. They can go and swim in galas where men can make themselves feel fucking better because they're beating women in a fucking race and act all Billy Macho and everything else whilst wearing a dress. And we can have all that area. Do you know what the issue I've got with? Me paying for the fucker through tax. So every single transgender person, you get a tax rise of 30%. And we will back you. We'll have transgender day.
Okay.
We'll have transgender day.
You've thought about this way too much.
We will.
Go
Do you know why? Do you know when I think about it?
Go on.
around April. Do you know why I think about it in April?
Go on.
Because I get my fucking tax bill for the year.
Where,
And it breaks down.
Where are our taxis paying for the fucking toilets?
It breaks down, like, which area. Have you ever read your tax code? Have you ever read your
Are you
HMS?
paying for Tesco's toilets?
No, it
You're
breaks
not, are
down.
you?
No, it breaks down.
I
your
know I've
public
read it.
ser-
Yeah, it's on the back. You turn the page round. It's on the back. It tells you where your money's
So
gone.
if we need to change infrastructure within our armies, the money from that comes from taxing the people.
Where's that come from, though? That's not the issue.
The issue is that we haven't got the infrastructure for it.
Infrastructure for what? People wanting a piss.
Another toilet.
We're not on about building another toilet. That's not the issue. They don't want their own toilet. They want to use the toilet of preference. So
Oh, well, let's just piss everywhere.
So a trans female wants to use a person who identifies as female wants to use a female toilet. That it's not about building an extra one. It's about people using their toilet of choice. And what I'm saying is, people don't give a fuck. Like,
Oh, well, just ignore what I've just said then.
Yeah.
Just like...
people don't care. I guarantee it. There's always a bad apple somewhere. Something will go wrong somewhere. But if a bloke in a dress goes into the bloke's toilets, he's going to get some grief. If a bloke in a dress goes into the female toilets and goes into a cubicle, might get a couple of weird looks. Probably nothing's going to happen.
Fair. Well, all we need then is just a protective space around children where they're not sharing a toilet facility with somebody that is mentally...
With Barbara from the fucking Royston Vasey.
I'm not being nasty. How is it not?
Alright, Barbara.
How is it not a mental illness?
The debate's there. The
debate's there.
I don't know.
You're born with a wedger and you think you want boobs.
The debate's there. It could be a mental illness. It might not be a mental illness. You can talk about that all day.
Do you know when I'd become a transgender person?
I've got no... I'm not an expert in it. I don't understand it because it doesn't affect me, and I've not read into it too much. So I really I don't know.
really care. I
don't have an opinion on it. In the slightest.
My only opinion, my single only opinion is all around my daughter.
For me, it's like
That's it.
Somebody goes, I feel like I've been born in the wrong body. I've always thought I was female. I'm going to start transitioning. You do you, boo. You live your happy life. I don't care. You go for it.
Guaranteed you've been raised by an overweight female.
You go for it. You live your life. You do you. I'm happy for you.
Go on, Barbara. Paul.
Go for it, man. Like, dick or no dick, I don't care. You cut it off or keep it. Who cares? I don't care. You live your life.
No,
go get them titties. You go for it. Yeah, that dress looks good on you. I don't care. People need to chill the fuck out, Cleon. That's what they need to do. Just calm down. Everybody just calm down.
I agree, but I think it's what we like to call in business a non-starter. Like you genuinely yesterday had people outside court moaning because the court went, yeah, we can't just invent a new gender.
Do you know what bothers me personally? What bothers me is like it's the medical thing. So if you're biologically male or biologically female and you're transitioning to the other sex, like
the other side.
If you're biologically female and you're transitioning to male, I don't know how the surgery works, but I'm presuming you've still got a womb.
No, I know how it works.
We're not ripping the womb out just yet, surely. I presume you've still got lady innards. That's what I'm saying. You've still got the womb and the ovaries and everything like that.
They just like turned off.
Yeah, you can turn them off, right?
Yeah.
But you could still get like ovarian cancer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though you're a bloke now, because you've still got your ovaries.
You can't get pregnant though.
Well, yeah, if you've had them cut, and it's when said person goes to a hospital and wants to be treated like a man when you've still got your female in
No,
it.
you can't do
and
that.
you're like, no, stop it. I understand.
That's the issue.
I understand. Live as a man. You do that, but we're in hospital now, and we've got to treat you like biologically the way you are. We'll address you as a man. We'll say he, him. We'll call you Jeff. That's fine, but you've got tumours on your ovaries. So
That's the
we
issue.
need to address you as for that.
Well, we don't.
Just let them fucking grow.
Well, we don't, because you're a man. Remember? You fuck off.
I think just common sense. I think people's common sense needs to kick back in every now and then, and they need to go, actually, yes, I've been living as a man, but I've now got this medical problem, so we now need to.
I'm not a man. I said I was a doctor.
I'm still living as a man, but yeah, treat me like a lady. Anyway, that got way too deep. It was just going to be a quick, like, the Supreme Court have said that women are women. There you go.
Men are men.
And that's it. Like, it's fine.
How much do you think that's cost?
I don't care.
I do.
No, sorry. I mean, I don't care about the outcome. Yeah. It's
That's
just
probably 3 or 4 mil worth of nothingness that we've just thrown down the drain.
apparently J.K. Rowling funded it, so.
Did you? She went like this. Everyone. Soon as that verdict came out, the whole of Twitter either turned and growled at J.K. Rowling,
Yeah,
or
applauded
her. And she must have been like this in her house.
It's a simple answer. Just don't be a dick. Simple as that. That's how you treat people. Just don't be a dick to people. Just treat people nice. That's all you got to do. Treat people nice.
You don't need to treat people nice. You just have to. I don't say it's treating people nice. I say it's accommodating people. So what I do, you see me do it all the time. If someone will come up to me and go, "Hi, my name's Stephen. I'm a transgender." I go, "Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
See you in a bit."
I don't need to know that. It's like people. It's like vegans. How do you know when somebody's a vegan? They'll
Does he
fucking
tell
tell
you
you.
vegan?
They'll tell you.
You went through a
Like-
stage where it was in every other sentence at one point.
When I was drunk, that was.
No,
Get a few beers in me, and I'm like, yeah, I don't eat meat anymore.
I don't
Like,
eat meat no more. It's like, no, you don't, do you? Where's that beer from again? Anyway, we go. There's no way beers or vegan sourced.
I'm not vegan. I'm not. I've said this so many times. I'm not vegan. I'm pescatarian. So I still
same
eat
thing.
cheese. That comes from animals. I still eat cheese. I still drink milk. It's yummy. I still eat eggs. They're dead good. Like, milk's amazing. We're the only animal that drinks the milk of another animal. Do you know why? Because it's tasty as fuck. That's why. I'm going to, like, get it in my system, pour it over my cornflakes, put it in my coffee. Love a bit of milk.
Sucking a cow off.
Cheese. Love cheese.
Oh, I love cheese.
You're fucking all different types of cheese.
Oh, I
Soft
love
cheese,
all the
hard
cheese.
stinky
The
cheese.
stinky cheese.
Get it on some crackers.
That weird cheese that makes you
Little bit of fucking
want to
chutney.
gag when you open it, but tastes really nice on a cracker.
Blue cheese.
Yeah.
It tastes really nice melted when you...
Freaks me out, that does.
I
The
know-
smell of it. I smell it, I go, oh.
I know
And
I
then I
don't-
put it in my mouth and I'm like, that's nice.
I know I don't eat meat anymore, but it tastes really nice when you melt it and shove it inside a fillet steak. Oh. Yeah, so I eat animal products. I eat fish. Like,
Fair.
fish is lovely. Prawns are amazing. Nom, 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 nom.
Before we wrap it up, I've got a question for you.
Okay.
Live bands for a wrestling intro work, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I've always liked it. It's the second time that Living Colour have done WrestleMania for CM Punk. Here's a fact for you. So, Living Colour, Cult of Personality, which is CM Punk's entrance music. Do you know that he asked Living Colour to re-record the song? So what you hear on CM Punk's entrance music is not the original single from the late 80s, early 90s. It's not that single. He got them to re-record it so that they own the rights to that track, so that Living Colour get paid more money. He did that for them. He's like, I don't want to use your original single because somebody else owns the publishing.
Re-record a new one.
Like Taylor's version. Re-record it so you own the publishing and we'll use that one so you get more money. And that he did that for them. He was like, you
I did like the selfie they did together mid-song.
fucking brilliant. I've seen that. I saw them a couple of years ago.
Did
Living
you?
Colour live. Yeah, they're really good.
Sang that one song and left.
Do you know what? I didn't know any of the songs. I didn't
Just that
know.
one thing. And then everyone sang.
They did this hip hop thing in the middle because like they were linked to that early 80s kind of hip hop thing. They knew the woman who started the whole thing with Sugar Hill Gang and whatnot. And they did this thing in the middle of the set where they played like some hip hop stuff, and it kind of lost the crowd a bit. And I'm not a big fan of Living Colour. I didn't know the rest of the tracks. They were very tight, very good live. They played Cult of Personality last because, of course, they did.
Yeah.
And everybody loved it. And then they disappeared. It was, they were good, solid gig. But yeah, second time they've done Mania. I do love a good rock intro. Motionless in White, when they did Rhea Ripley's one live, which was ace. Who else have we had?
Motorhead.
Yeah, Motorhead doing The Game. We've had who's the band that did I Miss the Misery? I can't remember what the name's called, but yeah, she did it. She did an intro for somebody once. When you get the they had the violin player for Shinsuke Nakamura once. That was ace too. But yeah, live bands for wrestling intros. I'm here for it.
They've moved the...
the Limp Bizkit did it for Undertaker once.
They did?
Yeah.
They have, just so people of Stoke-on-Trent are aware, we have moved the changing of the unveiling of the Lemmy statue. And I am going to be at said event.
What do you mean we've moved it?
We've moved the date.
They moved the date ages ago.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it should have been on the 8th. Now it's on the 9th.
Yeah, it's on the 9th.
Because the 8th is VE Day? I think it is, isn't it?
VE Day, yeah.
Yeah, it's VE Day, so they didn't want to...
I am going to the unveiling of Lemmy. I am interviewing people. I am on the scene.
Please stop clapping.
I am on the scene. I am interviewing the whole 3 people that turn up for this event. And I am asking questions.
Yeah, do it, man.
I'm going to really go into... So, what's your favourite Motorhead album?
I'll be at work. Yeah. Ace of Spades. There you go.
What's your favourite Motorhead song?
Motorhead's Greatest Hits. Ace of Spades.
Yeah.
What's your favourite Motorhead album? That would have to be the Greatest Hits of Motorhead.
The most uncalled for statue that Stoke-on-Trent has ever had.
Oh, no, you've taught me around. Yeah, I was having this conversation at work the other day. You've completely taught me around. I'm like, where's Robbie's statue now? That's it. I'm like, what's Lemmy done for Stoke? Where's Robbie's statue? Let's get Robbie a statue.
When have you ever heard Lemmy from Motorhead say Stoke-on-Trent?
The argument that somebody said, it's what I said to you. Robbie Williams is still alive. Somebody said that to me, and I turned around and went, yeah, well, so's John Rudge. And he got a fucking statue.
Thank you. Stanley Matthews was alive when his statue was done.
I met Stanley Matthews once.
Yeah. Gordon Banks was alive when his statue was done. There's no reason that we should be celebrating someone with a measly, I'll say it, a measly 22 million albums sold. And that's me saying a measly 22 million albums sold.
We've
got a youth who's a Vale fan, who spoke about the city more than anything else, who's just touching short of 80 million albums sold.
Yeah.
Did a bloody film about the area.
Yeah,
where he's wearing a Vale shirt.
I understand the Lemmy thing. People love him, but I don't think there's a need for it.
The only time Lemmy's come to Stoke-on-Trent, the only time
2 hours.
I don't care. The only time this guy has come to Stoke-on-Trent was a Monstro Rock gig, which was basically a Donington gig, which he couldn't have at the area one time.
Do you know Mike put that on?
Yeah. I did the research into it because I was doing the Motorhead moaning before I spoke.
Yeah. Whatever. If it brings people into the city, then for a week, then fair dues. But apart from that, don't care.
Yeah, it's going to bring people in.
I'll go it's a lovely statue. I'll go stand next to it and have a photo taken. It's fine. Yeah. With my favourite Motorhead album, The Greatest Hits of Motorhead.
I'm going to get the single, The Ace of Spades, and go.
I've only got one Motorhead record, you know.
Because there's only 2 released.
I've only got one, and it is The Greatest Hits. That's it. Anyway,
we're going.
Going, because I'm tired. I've had enough.
I'm full of coffee, so you need to cut me off.
I've drank my coffee, but I don't think it's fucking done anything. Oh, what's going on here? Why is this doing this? I'm not prepared for the sign off. Right. Big thank you To everybody that listens week in and week out, you guys are awesome. Video content is on the way. I know we say it every week, but we're building up a catalogue of videos before we start putting them out. Editing is well underway for these programs, so be sure to give us a subscribe on YouTube, and then you'll be there and ready for when we put the videos up. It's just Up the Trent. It's youtube.com/@UpTheTrent on that one, or just search Up the Trent on your app. Follow us on social media. It is Up the Trent Podcast on Instagram and Up the Trent on everything else, X, Blue Sky, and Facebook. Give us a like, follow, subscribe on whatever your favourite podcast platform is. We're available wherever podcasts are available, including Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I'm pretty certain people only use them too these days. But if you're one of these guys that uses some weird Android app for your podcast, then you'll find us. Just search Up the Trent without a paddle. You guys are awesome, and we will see you next time.